Hi everyone. I'm always being asked how I make the graphics for I Was a Teenage Vampire. So I've decided to make a short video showing how it's done. Here we have the town of Silver Lake. I've built the entire town in Dad's studio. Some of the assets have to be built and imported from Blender after adjustments are made. Other than that, the main software I use is Photoshop to create custom graphics like what you'll see on the signs, as well as the graphic designs that exist within the game itself. I also occasionally hand draw and hand paint certain aspects that are too hard to render in 3D, like effects. Sometimes I use photo manipulations too, like collage elements. Each portion of the town is built in 3D and exists in chunks based on the scenes. This downtown area has custom graphics for Watkins Photography and is closely based on the Back to the Future set. People are always asking me if the graphics are made using generative AI. The answer is no. Everything is built in 3D, then converted to look 2D using a custom cel-shaded style transfer filter. Here's an example of the high school I built. It works kind of like a movie set, where building facades are set up to create the illusion of a fully realized location. Then each shot is rendered individually. I've designed each of the characters individually and carefully crafted their facial details. I try not to use too many pre-made characters, so most of the main cast was made by me using custom morphs to achieve the exact look I was going for. Some of them are based on real people, or might be a parody, so keep an eye out for who looks recognizable. I made the Silver Lake High School mascot and assembled the exterior using customized 3D assets. For the character sprites, I then animate each frame. Each rendered frame is put through a filter that gives it a more illustrated comic book look. I render each expression to match the flow of the story. In Photoshop, these renders have to be layered over each other and corrected with careful adjustments made to each frame. Sometimes I have to hand paint details back in. The final look is this dreamy, pastel, 80s illustration style that I've been going for. I know some people might not care for this look or think it looks weird, but there are so many great 3D artists out there already creating games with Daz graphics. I didn't want to make something that just looks the same as theirs. Instead, I wanted to make something unique that was heartfelt and recognizable on its own. I think if you give it a chance, it's a lot of fun. Each character is designed with care, down to the details including their looks and outfits. Here's an example of Lori's backyard, which I assembled complete with a pool, and Savannah with her ice cream, which I designed to be reminiscent of a recognizable character you guys might remember from back then. Like all the other scenes, I take the individual renders and correct them before the final steps. I have so many layers in Photoshop, it takes quite a long time to go through and arrange everything so that it's perfect. Sometimes a single scene can take hundreds or even 1,000 frames, and each one has to be individually corrected. This takes a lot of time, but it's a labor of love. So why go through all the trouble of building all this stuff when most authors simply use pre-made 3D assets? Well, originally the game was a point-and-click adventure with real-time animations and explorable environments. However, after about a year in early access, that just never really took off. So I built the game as a straightforward visual novel and focused on the story instead of exploration. People seem to like that much better. As a consequence, each environment was already built with 3D in mind, as you could actually navigate it with a controllable sprite. I have a background in architecture and construction, so I'm always trying to keep in mind how buildings would actually work to give them a feeling of real places that could exist. Anyways, thank you for watching this video and for taking a glimpse into how I create the visual elements of this game. I hope to share further updates with you soon, And to all of my supporters, thank you for everything. You make this project possible.